Hey friends, I've been thinking a lot about one of the things that's made 2020 challenging, and it's this idea that we didn't have a chance to have a plan for how we would respond to the things that we've been put through this year and what we've gone through together. Like most things in life, we have a chance to have a plan. They're going to become a parent. You think about what kind of parent you're going to be, what your values are, what's important to you, and you have these things that you're going to like stand by. This is a thing that's important, or you're starting a relationship and you think about what you've learned from past relationships and what you want to bring into that new relationship. Um, and you have a lot of values there. And none of us had a chance last January, last February to sit down and come up with a plan of like, okay, this is the stuff we're going to go through in 2020. Here's our values as individuals, as a staff, as families. We just were thrown into a situation that we've never been part of before. And so there's a very real element that continues to be a thing of that we're just making this up. We're making up our responses thing by thing, and trying to do the best that we can. And so you see above my face here, it just says grace upon grace. I know that this is not a new concept, a new term for you, and you're hearing it outside of school and things like that, obviously. But I think it's especially important as we navigate these hard times where we're making up our responses for how we're doing a family gathering, or how we're going to choose to honor the people around us during the holidays, which are just so fraught with positive emotions and expectations and traditions. And I think it's really important for us to have, for each of you as you're watching this, as you're in your role as a mom, as a dad, as a husband, as a wife, as a neighbor, a son or daughter, as a colleague, as a teacher, all of these things, that we have to have so much grace for one another, because none of us have done this before. None of us have had to weigh the idea that I love someone and I want to be with them, but I also have this information that makes me wonder if I can be with them safely, and how do I protect people. I continue to just be so grateful to be part of this staff, and you're continuing to exceed my expectations during this time. I am so very proud of the whole Highland community, and especially of our staff, and how people have just adjusted to different things and have just shown such an amazing amount of innovation during this time and ability to work together, and it blows me away. So when you're in these days coming up to break, which are already normally in a normal year a tired time, I want you to know that you are exceeding my expectations on the daily. Every time I pop into a live session, there's something I see that is new for me, that blows me away, and things that you are just now you're good at that you didn't even know were a thing before. There's nobody at Highland whose job has not changed during this year, and everyone has navigated that so well. I also just genuinely appreciate everyone's bringing their best selves to this work, being real with one another, being real with families, doing everything you can to connect with kids has made me so proud. I want to give you a challenge between now and break to think about this idea that we're probably all doing one thing too many. And just think about that from your perspective, as a teacher, as a paraeducator, as a support staff role. Are we trying to take on one thing too many right now? And can we limit those things by one to just increase the quality of any one part, or to just maintain some sanity and some work-life balance during this time? So you may feel like, I got it down, Ryan, there's nothing that needs to go. Or you may be like, I have 9 things too many, Ryan. But just try to identify one thing as we head into these days before break and come back in January that may just need to go, that can come off your plate, that you can just let one thing go, that maybe you're not seeing bang for the buck for that activity, for that thing. And if you want help talking through or brainstorming what that might be, I'm here to do that with you. I feel like there are some really temporary negative impacts of this time, and we're seeing those things in ourselves, and our colleagues, and our families, with our kids, and we all have genuine concerns about the lasting impacts of life being so different in 2020, and not just schools not being reopened, but relationships being different, so many things that are just not on rails anymore. And it's a big deal, whether you love a kindergartner, or you love a high schooler, or you love your senior adult parents, that we all have a burden for someone in our life that we are concerned about. And I do believe a lot of these impacts are temporary, and we have a lot that we can do in how we navigate this time that decides if these are temporary things or not. If we can be able to maintain relationships with one another and the people that we love during this time, it's that idea of I love you and I don't know how we do in-person Christmas right now, and that's really hard. This could be a thing that could divide us as a staff. It could divide families. It could divide marriages, parent-child relationships, all those things. But I think if we think about that, there are some temporary negative impacts, and we try to weather those together, it will help there to be fewer long-term negative impacts. I also think there are some really lasting positive impacts of this time, and I just challenge you to think about something that you have learned or done differently, or an interaction that you've had that's been different or more intentional because it was just different than it used to be. So my challenge for you during this long rambling message, I have 4 things as we head into 2021. The first thing is to stay nimble. If 2020 taught us anything, it's that we need to be able to quickly shift and pivot just how we do life based on new information. And I love that word nimble. To me, it's even more jaunty than the word flexible. And I've always liked the word nimble. So Word Guy says we're going to stay nimble, ready to move quickly in 2021. We're going to stay together as a Highland family, as a Highland team. And that is why I love working here, and why, despite everyone's different viewpoints on things, we are continuing to operate at a high level every day because people are staying together. And I so appreciate that. We're going to stay focused on kids, which is so clear that we're doing, and we're going to stay well. Or you may be in a spot where you need to get well, where your work-life balance right now is not sustainable, or there's an aspect of your life where you're not doing the things that you need to do to take care of yourself. So if you're well, stay well and do those things that will keep you well. And if you're not well, then get well. I'm here to help you with any of these things. I hope that you all have a wonderful break. People deserve that, to have that. And if you do feel like there's work you have to do, set really clear boundaries about when and where that will take place. Put your computer down, put your phone away. Don't read things that are going to stress you out. Just have some days where you disengage for your own sake. I care about each of you a whole lot, and I want everyone to stay safe over this break. And again, just know that you're exceeding my expectations, and we can do this together. Love you guys.